What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 J's here, and today we're here to talk about Rich the Kid, or as my comment section yesterday was calling him, Rich the Mid. And in this video I wanted to discuss the subpar numbers that have Rich's career looking very shaky right now, so let's break it down.
Been so bad I told her damn I wanna hit it. She assumed position then told me come get it. Ain't had no breakfast so a nigga had to eat it. It took an hour but I promised her 5 minutes. Stepping on my baby nappy and it's patchy. Flippy floppy famo say my fit be tacky.
Let's begin with the statistic breakdown and then I'll give you guys my opinion. Firstly, let's add some context to Rich's other albums. For both The World Is Yours 1 and number 2, they were pretty successful and Rich benefited a lot from lead hit singles. You had Plug Walk and New Freezer for number 1 and Splashin' for number 2, which all ended up on the charts, all were certified and really helped Rich build his buzz for the albums. Now, contrast this to Boss Man, and instead of the singles going on the charts, getting huge plays and getting certified, they've literally all flopped. Not a single one of his 5 singles he released leading up to the album charted on the Billboard. And check the Spotify plays, whereas all of his other hits have 150 to 400 plus million plays, his singles thus far all have less than 16 million. Of course, it isn't a completely one-to-one comparison because those songs have been out much longer, but still, for not one of your singles to have over 16 million plays and they've all been out for months now isn't a good sign. And I want you guys to tell me in the comments below, do you think Rich's newer singles compared to his hits in the past like Plug Walk and New Freezer? For me, they don't come close, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Plus, when you look at his monthly Spotify listener trend, it isn't looking good either. The World Is Yours 2 was dropped in March of last year, so as a result, in May we can see his numbers sitting around the 12 million mark as a result of the album doing fairly well. But you can clearly see his numbers haven't reached that point again since. Even though they did start to jump around Jan and February thanks to his single with NBA Youngboy, it didn't hold for long, and it not consistently growing and it going back down shortly after shows the single didn't hold people's attention and he wasn't in a good position leading up to the release of the album. Furthermore, looking at his radio plays, it's the same story. Compared to this time last year, reminder, he dropped his album a week later than this one last year, so it's a very good comparison to compare this time to the same time last year, and it's clearly visible his radio rotation has gone down, with his total plays in the US going down over 8%. If this wasn't bad enough as well, as I mentioned in my video yesterday, whereas Uzi has something like 30 plus songs in the Hot 200 songs on Spotify with multiple in the top 10, Rich has literally one song, which went down from 105 on the 14th to now even being lower at 133 as of the 15th. Again, not a good sign. And even if we take a look at Google, you can see the interest in him from the search interest since the start of 2019. This is for Rich the Kid searches, and you can see it peaked around album time last year, and comparatively this year, there is about half as much searches for him right now. All of this data basically points to a very touch and go rollout for Rich the Kid. And guys, you need to remember, look at who he has on his album. Post Malone, NBA Youngboy, Nicki Minaj are just 3 of the huge names on here. Rich in the past has always benefited from huge features, and this time around he tries it again, but it's not working in the same way. Okay, now those are the literal facts and figures, so hopefully you guys can see where I'm coming from, but now for my personal opinion. And guys, before we go on, a couple quick shoutouts from my Instagram. Big shoutouts goes to all things Uzi and Crazy Cardi, 2 dope fan pages, make sure to check them out if you haven't. Also make sure for your boy on Instagram at yadiiiigg, go support your boy, drop me a follow. Also a reminder about my merch tees, you can see the Cardi one on me and the rest on the screen, link in the description to cop if you're interested. And I do put a lot of effort into researching the stats and the figures for you guys, so if you could please like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on notifications, your support is appreciated. But let's get back to Rich the Kid. And I've been saying this for a while, but I think Rich just makes such similar sounding music with the same flows about the same things. And I get it, you could say the same thing about Cardi or Uzi to a certain extent, but to me, Cardi and Uzi over the course of their discography have been able to change sonically and vocally to keep their sounds interesting. Like, what Cardi is doing with his baby voice in this era is totally different to the self-titled era, whereas I don't think Rich has shared any of the same progression that these artists have. He's very frequently called Rich the Mid for a reason. Don't get me wrong, he can definitely make a really good song. Plug Walk, amazing track that still gets plays from me to this day. Same with Plug, which is a SoundCloud classic, and you guys know how I feel about his work with Dex and Critch. They also have SoundCloud classics together, but these types of tracks are a rarity from Rich rather than a frequent showing, and it leads to a lot of music feeling very disposable. Like literally, how many times can you use the same flow over and over again? And I think that's what hurt this rollout the most. The songs he led with weren't terrible, but they were kinda average and they weren't able to grab the people's attention like his previous singles did. did, and the relative failure of them commercially shows that. But I'm hoping for Rich's sake what he said yesterday about him getting radio play with the singles will come true. At the end of the day, there are a few things. One, I do want Rich the Kid to win, and secondly, he does have people like Post and Nicki on the album, and he did just do a video with Lyrical Lemonade, so we could see this be the case of a label being able to work the album better post-release than prior, but we'll find out in a couple months what Republic is able to do with it. Until then, I'm gonna wait and see what these first week sales are like, and then I'll report back to y'all. But that's all from me today, guys. Make sure to let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, @yadiiiigg on Instagram, follow your boy, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.